Here we go, back again with another SAFC Fan TV live stream on a Monday night to enjoy and dissect the wonderful victory on Saturday and then have a chat about the preview for tomorrow night's return leg. And on tonight's show, we have Emma. Emma, how are you doing?
I'm not too bad, Terry. How are you?
Champion, you been working today?
I certainly have. I work hard every day apart from a weekend and bank holiday, you know. There's no rest for me.
You're not taking Wednesday off, so you have a few beers tomorrow night.
Oh, hey, I'll be having a few beers regardless, but I'll just go in later on Wednesday.
Flexi
I'll go
time,
in for 10
flexi
o'clock.
time.
So if I'm just watching, I'm coming in for 10 on Wednesday because I'm going to get drunk tomorrow night watching the game.
But I'm sure Jack will be. Jack, are you watching the match tomorrow night? Stupid question, of course you are.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm going 12 o'clock. The bus goes tomorrow. So, yeah, hopefully we're coming back smiling. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. A little bit nervous, but looking forward to it.
You got a day off work Wednesday?
I haven't, no. I've just told them I'll be in a little bit later. So I'll be okay. The productivity might not be the best, but I'll be there.
Have you had a good day, a couple of days since the victory on Saturday?
Yeah, it's been really good, really enjoyable. Put ourselves in a great position. It was just a cracking day, wasn't it, Saturday? All round, just sun was shining, late kick-off, little bit of extra time to get a couple of the beverages down to quell the nerves, and then excellent win, which I'm sure we're obviously going to go into. It was just a really, really good day, and we've given ourselves a great chance.
You know what it is? I knew it was going to be a good day because we even saw Jacob there on Saturday. Jacob, how are you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah, still recovering, to be honest, Terry. But like you guys have all said, and also what we've seen on the socials, what a day, what an unbelievable day. And obviously we'll delve more into it as the show goes on. But yeah, it's just emotion springs to mind thinking about Saturday, to be honest.
It was a wonderful occasion. I really enjoyed Saturday. I thought the crowd was absolutely fantastic on Saturday. Right, we're going to go to the live chat now, and 79 people on the live stream, so we'll run through a few. We'll ask Palmas Mackham first on the chat. The Scrappy Dog 100. Hi all, fantastic season. Whatever happens, correct. Fletcher, Luton fan here. Evening, Fletcher. May the best team win tomorrow night. DJ Sizzler Watson, evening, boys and girls. Sorry I missed last week. I've got a battle with my health. Ooh. David Joblin, I wish you all the best. David Joblin, good evening. Mackham, 1973 says hello. Jimmy says hello. Anthony on there. Conrad Tank. Ian Wilkinson. Mickey Mack. We also have Harry the Football and Talking SAFC, whatever that is. David Miller on there too. Gary Tolbert. We've got Ian Curry, who has a question for Emma. So we'll start with that first. Don't forget to ask, yes, Emma, what's your thoughts on Gooch at this moment in time?
My question to me, my thoughts on Gooch. Well, the way he played on Saturday, he was really ready and he was eager at the on the left side. I mean, he's good. He gets stuck in every game. He's one of these lads that wears his heart on his sleeve and goes out and plays for us. And that's what we want. He's got the pride and the passion for the team.
Apparently, have you changed your opinion on Gooch? Because we weren't a big fan of him earlier on in the season. Is that correct or not?
I wasn't massive on him, but I still liked him as a player. I think my worst ones this season have been Ed and Neil, but Corey Evans started to change throughout the season. So
exactly. There we go. We can all have different opinions.
I apologise.
No need to apologise for having an opinion, Emma. No need to apologise for an opinion, but I get where Ian's coming from. He has been playing well, Gooch. Philip Emerson on there had just to go to the supermarket for a beer for tomorrow's game. Just stop my arse from falling out. Kyle Dunn on there. Kyle has a wonderful channel himself, doing great vlogs at Sunderland matches, home and away. All the football fans saying Sunderland fans think we've already won. Well, I know fine well we haven't already won. I'm sure all Sunderland fans deep down inside really know they haven't won till our final whistle blows tomorrow, and we either draw or winning. And then we got Elliot Alderson, Ollie Hogg, and Ollie Hogg says, however, lads. Right, so we'll start off with Jacob. Jacob, you travelled up on Saturday, I take it, with your friends to watch the match. What was your overall opinion on you getting up to Sunderland and the crowd itself?
Well, even there were some fans on the train going up, and I think we could just sense that it was going to be a special day regardless. Obviously, I know a Luton result would have dampened it a little bit, but I just had full confidence. This team just surprises us left, right, and centre at this moment in time. And we just had a feeling deep down that we weren't going to lose that game on Saturday. We just had faith in these extremely talented young players that they were going to make it a very special occasion at the Stadium of Light. And obviously the banner display and the flag display before was absolutely tremendous to see. And also, I must say this now, Terry, you've probably seen on socials it going around recently. For those who nicked the flags from the 73 group, give those back straight away. What are you doing? Really, really poor crack that. Yeah, I must get that out there now. But yeah, back onto the day itself. Arriving around midday-ish, going even for a walk along the seafront, people red and white tops just everywhere, you know, going for fish and chips, and wonderful, absolutely wonderful to see. This is like 6 hours before the game. Arriving into town, it was just bedlam. Honestly, struggles to get served in pretty much every bar in the town centre. I mean, I think we tried to go to the fire station before, and the queue was it wrapped around the block even to get in and go for a pint, but ended up in Vesta Tilly's, the atmosphere in there bouncing, and even walking across the bridge to the ground and going to the fans museum. What a place that is. Tremendous. And the game itself, obviously we'll touch onto that a little bit later, but yeah, wonderful occasion. Amadio, another spectacular goal and a great cross from Jack Clark. It's so simple for him, providing assists all the time. Trey Hume getting his head on it, getting the winning goal. We needed that early goal from Luton to wake us up a little bit, but second half, I thought we dominated that game, if I'm brutally honest. And yeah, fully deserved, and roll on tomorrow night.
Exactly. Jack, now I'm going to say that he's walked on the beach. It's like a sort of a phrase for pub crawl. Did you have many beers before the game on Saturday, Jack? And what was your thoughts on when you saw the team news itself?
Yeah, I had a few. I usually do, to be fair. Nothing too crazy, but I did have a good 3 or 4. Yeah, I looked at the team. To be honest, there's not a great deal of options you can do with the team, can you? I think he sort of were Robertson and Gooch almost like the wing backs, almost to a certain extent, were they? I mean, someone might put me right on that one, and then 2 in the middle, Diallo, Pritchard, and Clark behind Gelhardt. And I thought we started the game really, really well, to be fair. I thought the first 10 or 15 minutes, we created a couple of early decent chances, and we were really in the ascendancy. The crowd was great. And I've always worried about our home crowds, because I think sometimes when we're all buzzing, we tend to get a goal against us and it just quietens everything down. And it happened. Obviously, first time really Luton foraged into our half, near our goal scored. Slack defended from a set piece, as I touched on, as pretty much everybody knew they were going to be a threat from a set piece. But credit to the lads, because yet again we've conceded in the game. Did it let them affect them? Did the heads drop? Absolutely not. You know, they kept going. In fact, it probably worked in our favour going 1-0 down, as strange as a comment as that is, because it just made them play even better and get the ball moving quicker than they were, and really dominate the game, as has been touched on already. And we crucially we get the equaliser before half time, because I think if we get that, which we deserve, we absolutely deserve to be in front, really. But to get the equaliser before half time, then it was massive, because second half you knew that the crowd were going to be up again, and it worked in our favour. Absolutely superb goal by Amad Diallo. And yeah, really, I was still a bit disappointed at 1-1 at half time, because I thought, for being so dominant, we should really be in the lead.
To be fair, I meid, the goals he scored this season, like the last 2 against Preston and on Saturday, just world-class goals. I mean, do you think Amad can actually get into the Man U side next season, Jack?
I don't know. I think it might be an argument. It's a big if, but if we get promoted and we are in the Premier League next season, there might be an argument that I think that's probably the only way we do get him next year if we do go up. I don't know. He looks too good for the Championship, though. Absolutely. And the crazy thing is, he's only a young lad. You know what I mean? He's going to get even better with a year or 2 regular football. He's going to be some player. Whether or not he's good enough to play for Man United, Champions League, top of the Premier League level, I see no reason why not. But it's sometimes hard when you put that expectation on a young player, because you don't know how they're going to develop. So, but at the minute, you know, the goals he scores and the impact he has on the game, he's certainly too good for the Championship.
Right, back on the live chat, we have Mark Connors says it will be 1-1 draw. Am I right, Ian Curry? I publicly gave my apologies, saying Pato was the weak link, and he wasn't. Actually, he's been absolutely one of the best players of the season. Absolutely, Pato, fantastic. Ian Curry says, Jack looks like he's not recovered yet. Jack, are you still feeling a bit rough off Saturday?
No, I'm all right, to be fair. I don't know what he means. I'm a bit tight. I'm a little bit tired. I didn't get much sleep last night, but no, I'm all right, to be fair. I mean, I'll probably be worse tomorrow this time when it's sort of 20 minutes to kick off and I'll be biting my nails in the crowd.
I don't know anybody who sleeps on a Sunday night. I mean, I feel knackered every single Monday. I hate bloody Mondays at work. David Miller, well said, Jacob. I was so tensed up, I couldn't drink more than 2 glasses of wine pre-match in the Dun Cow. Rob Bass, best atmosphere at the Sol since Peter Reid days. I thought the atmosphere was amazing. I thought the crowd was fantastic. I thought everybody sung their hearts out. Las Palmas, Macam, there's only 3 set positions in the team. Pato in goal, Hume and 09 as centre-halves. The rest are fluid when we attack. Correct. And also we got Ollie Hogg said something. Philip Emerson, do you think we can buy a Mad? I don't think it depends what kind of money we've got and depends whether Manchester United want to let him go. So there's 121 people on the live stream. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new and also give us a thumbs up. We try and get 100 likes on the channel on every single live stream if possible. Emma, were you at the match on Saturday and what was your thoughts on the whole sort of occasion and on the game itself?
Well, of course I was at the match, Terry. I would have been there if my head was hanging off my shoulders. I mean, it was outstanding. The atmosphere was absolutely cracking. I mean, the display, yeah, it was brilliant. I think that got the fans geared up a little bit more. On the back of what Jacob said, I did see on social media that one flag has been returned today. Some little laddie is standing outside the front of the stadium, and I'm sure it's the blue one, if I remember rightly off the photo, that's been returned. So fingers crossed to get them back. But honestly, the atmosphere, I didn't really have much of a voice left coming out of the ground on Saturday because obviously where I sit, and it's like we're all up singing and screaming and shouting. I mean, when Diallo scored that goal, it was just like, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, belittling, he put his arm around us and he was dead excited. And and then when Hume scored, we fell over, we're jumping about with that much excitement. It was fantastic. But I mean, as far as the game goes, I mean, we knew that we were going to concede potentially from corners because of obviously Luton's height. So that was quite predictable in my opinion. But we found our way back into the game, which was really, really good to see. We didn't sort of like sit back and we're 1-0 down and put everybody behind the ball. We went back out and we fought, and we started the second half as we finished the first half, which is something that you don't really see much this season with Sunderland, but always seem to be a team of 2 halves. But it was the same team. Sorry, it was the same sort of game for the full 90 minutes, if that makes sense. I mean, we were going for it and we were very dominant with the possession of the ball. I mean, yeah, Luton was taking it down. The ref didn't give with that much, but overall, I thought it was a fantastic game. I really did, and I wish I could relive it, Terry.
Yeah, I actually thought when Luton scored, I thought, oh, here we go. And now I was like, I was a bit worried, to be honest. But the way the lads responded was nothing but amazing. I mean, the second half, we completely dominated the second half. They were never in the game second half, and I just thought, to be fair, I didn't think there were that much of it. I mean, Jacob, what was your thoughts on Luton in the whole itself as a team?
Yeah, we knew what we were going to get. You know, they were going to come up with a lot of physical presence, Terry. You know, set pieces like Emma touched on. You know, their forward line with Adebayo and is it Carlton Morris, you know, worked to great effect for the first goal they scored, you know, putting their physicality amongst our small lads. And yeah, could we have dealt with it a little bit better watching it back? Maybe a tad bit, but it was the typical goal that Luton were going to score. If they were going to take the lead in that game, I was pretty comfortable that, you know, we'd be able to shut them out scoring from open play. But overall, I thought what surprised me about them, I thought second half they would have gone a little bit more direct, you know, aimed for the big lads, pumping balls up towards Adebayo into the box, but we never really saw that from them. I think it was just the case, the pace and trickery of our boys, you know, they just ran out of steam. It was a case of them just chasing shadows in the second period of the game, and it looked like they just burnt themselves out with the tactics they tried to apply in the first 45, and they didn't have enough set pieces to really kill us. But overall, it's the way that they were going to get anything out of the game on Saturday. But then again, we don't know what's going to be the case when they set up at Kenilworth Road tomorrow evening. But like you said, Terry, you know, their home record is obviously not as good as their away this season. Their away form is similar to us. So we just don't know what Luton team is going to turn up tomorrow night. But I'm expecting they'll come at us full guns blazing in the first few minutes of that game, considering they're at home and we're away.
I mean, someone said in the chat to me earlier on my channel was that a lot of the home form was down to Nathan Jones in the early days, so they had a lot of bad form to him. And since the new lads come in, the home form's a lot better. Jack, are Luton just a big bunch of bullies or what?
No, I think, to be fair, it's a massively contrasting style to us, isn't it? I mean, there's no right way to win a football game, I think. There's a way that looks better on the eye, and I'd certainly rather play our style of play than Luton's style of play, absolutely, as a neutral, actually going and wanting to be entertained, which, you know, you could argue that's why we go to football games. It's because we support the team, but it is entertainment, isn't it? I wouldn't like to watch Luton's style of play very often. Reminds us of when we had Phil Parkinson at Sunderland, and he used to play that style of play, long balls up to the likes of Charlie Wyke and one or two others. So that's the way that they play. But there's no right way to play football or wrong way to play football. But it can be effective if it's done the right way. But I actually thought Luton got it wrong, because I think when they were too bothered about stopping us playing, and I think had Luton got their heads down and actually tried to play their style rather than just stopping us playing, they might have had more joy in the game. Instead, they were too bothered about kicking us, really. The amount of fouls that they did, and I was screaming at the referee for more protection from the players. If that's what you want when you're a team like us that's full of technically slightly built lads, you want the referee to show a bit of protection and start yellow carding some Luton players. I thought he was far too slow to do it. You know, if he'd done that earlier, they would have stopped it, would have been able to get in our stride a little bit more. So
100%.
Really, I thought that was a big mistake from the referee, but we kept going. You know, they kept hacking our players down, and the lads just got up and kept playing football. And in the end, we got the result that we deserved. In actual fact, I was slightly disappointed for how dominant I thought we were over the sort of 90 minutes, that we only had a 1-goal advantage. Don't get me wrong, snap your hand off for a 1-goal advantage going down there. But really, I think if we'd won that 2-0 or 3-1 and had a 2-goal advantage, I don't think Luton could have argued too much.
Yeah, Jacob?
Going back to what Jack said about, was it how Luton approached the game? Second half, I think he picked up his first yellow in the first half, but I think their midfield player, was it Nakamba? He must have picked up about 5... No, he did. Oh, sorry, can't get my words out there. He must have done about 5 yellow card worthy challenges throughout the entire game. And for him to only get 1 yellow, I think it was midway through the second half, Mowbray was screaming at the ref, "What are you doing? How's this lad still on the pitch?" And yeah, I think we had to ride out that tough period in the game pretty well. You know, they were using their physicality in the middle of the park to frustrate us a little bit, but we came through it. Was it unharmed? Obviously, a few of our boys picked up knocks who are doubtful for tomorrow. But overall, you know, despite a mediocre refereeing display, I thought it didn't handle the game well, particularly in the second 45, allowing Nakamba to stay on the pitch. We done well to obviously see out the game and pick up the win going down there. But yeah, disappointing refereeing display, I must say.
Jack, is he supposed to be a Premier League referee?
I'm not sure. I didn't even check to see who the referee was, to be fair. Let's have a look. Tim Robinson. I don't know. I don't think he's a Premier League referee, Terry. I haven't heard his name mentioned in the Premier League. And
he didn't look very fit, did he? He looked a bit fat to me, like a bit chubby. I didn't realise he was I don't know.
If that was his audition to become a Premier League referee, then I don't think they'll be calling them up anytime in the very near future. Yeah, chunky refs. There's been a few over the years, hasn't there? Mark Halsey, he always used to be carrying a few pounds, but I'm going back a few years there.
End of the day, you want to see. You see fit football players. Referees should be have the same sort of standards as well, in my opinion. Anyway, right, we'll go back on the live chat. Anthem Mackham's on there. Kingy, do you think we have the potential to get promoted, even with all the injuries? At this moment in time, it's looking like we've got a great chance. Anthem Mackham keep the red flag flying high. Ben Hansen, yes. You did never. You did. You showed up on the way home. That's Emma's husband, isn't it? That's right. CONRAD Tank is on there as well. Paul Heron, David Walker, Mickey Mack spoke to Jacob outside the ground after the game, and he was that far gone with the drink. He didn't even. I can see his eyes rolling in the back of his head. Tap on the right off. Bob Bass. I settled for a draw at home and Pip Luton away from home. I thought we'd get a draw at home. I did, honestly. Ian Wilkinson, as a team, you play to your strengths. Ian Barron, the Darlington fans on here too. Back Wadder says he loves Sunderland. So, Emma, what was your thoughts on the referee? Has Emma gone? Disappeared. Emma's gone for the moment anyway, so we'll go back to Jack.
I'm still here, Terry. I'm still here.
Oh, you're there.
Yeah.
It's just I was trying to get a bit more light in the room and opening the curtains. It's thingy, so I was swapping around the other side of the room.
Well, there we go. Emma, tell us your thoughts on the referee. You like a good opinion on referees, and also what's your thoughts on Luton itself? Luton's game plan, how they played on Saturday.
I think they went out just to try and kick us off the ball, and I mean, as Jacob's touched on, the amount of yellow cards they should have had. I mean, it was just the ref just didn't give one nothing. I mean, yes, we got some, but I think we should have gotten a lot more free kicks. There should have been a lot more cards given to their players. I mean, there was one. Oh Christ, who was it now? It should have been a red card. Was potentially a foul on Roberts. If I remember.
I think the same lad I was on about.
Yeah, he should have had a second yellow. Basically, he should have been off. So he shouldn't have been playing tomorrow night. But you know, what can we do about that? It's again, to me, it's no consistency with the referees. It's what we've had all season. They don't give with the consistency. So it's like, what are we meant to do? And if they're meant to be Premier League referees, they rely on VAR a bit too much now, if you ask my opinion. So that they can't see it back. So they've got to make that split decision. And I don't think that they're, I wouldn't say qualified to make that split decision. I don't think they're as confident in making that split decision without seeing the replay back on VAR. If I've completely made sense there. But no, I think Luton is going to be the same tomorrow night. They're just going to go out and try and kick off the park and constantly foul with.
Well, as long as they don't score a goal, it doesn't really matter, does it? Let's face it. I mean, I thought the lad stood up to Luton really well on Saturday. I thought Lexi Hume shows a lot of physicality as well for his slight build. I think he gets stuck in. There's a lot of players get stuck in. Roberts, I think he got stuck in on Saturday. And I think, you know, to be fair, I thought overall we did deserve the victory. And the referee was poor. He could have given more yellow cards and protected the players, like they say. I mean, you want to see a decent game of football, and it's a shame that Luton came up and didn't play the way they played. I thought the first game when we played against them in the first half, they kind of dominated us in the league match. So, Jack, do you think Morris is a shithouse? Because I know a few people have been saying this.
Do I think what? Roberts?
I think Morris is a shithouse.
Oh, Morris. I thought you said Roberts. I was thinking Patrick Roberts. What's Patrick Roberts done? Yeah, I mean, all of them, they're really... I don't like to use the word nasty, but, you know, there's a football terminology. They're a team of shithouses, pardon me French. You know what I mean? That sort of nasty, horrible team. But to be fair, I wouldn't like to play them. Do you know what I mean? And they could argue, well, look, you play better football, we get the job done. They could argue they've had a better season than us. They finished, 11 points clear of us? So they could argue their style's working more than ours. I know we're a newly promoted team. But I think it's just different styles of play. You have to play to your strengths. Somebody mentioned it in the chat and hits the nail on the head. Our strengths are we've got a lot of technically good footballers that can get on the ball and create things. The likes of Ahmad Diallo, Patrick Roberts, Jack Clark, Alex Pritchard. That's our strengths. Luton's strengths are they have a team of athletic players that can carry the ball a lot. The physical, they've got a lot of height in the team. So it's just about playing to your strengths. But yeah, that's where you need a stronger ref, I think, because I thought it was getting a little bit out of hand, some of the fouls that Luton were making and being allowed to make as well. Because I think if the ref had stamped his authority on the game, earlier, it probably would have made for a better spectacle and probably helped us as well. I know we're all a little bit biased, but that sort of slow game, you know, where it's stopping a lot, that's going to favour a team like Luton. It's not going to favour a team like us that plays at a rhythm and a tempo. We want to keep the ball alive and keep the ball in play as much as we can. So, yeah, it's one of those, but we've just got to get on with it. You know, Luton are going to make no apologies. We know what we're in for tomorrow night. So anybody that's expecting it to be anything different, you know, that they're going to be better tomorrow night. You know, that they can't play. I don't think they'll be as poor as they were on Saturday. And it's just about us it's up to us to rise to the challenge.
What was your thoughts on Pritchard on Saturday, Jack?
Thought he played well. I thought he got involved a lot more than he has. I thought he seemed to be stronger later in the game as well. Pritchard tends to fade, doesn't he, second half in games if he starts, but I thought he still played well up in 60, 65, 70 minutes. He was still getting on the ball and looking involved. I'm surprised we've managed to get halfway through the show without mentioning Pierre Ekwah. I know we're probably going to talk about it in a minute, but he was absolutely phenomenal. That's one of the best midfield displays I've seen from a Sunderland player at any level, any game, anywhere. So I know he's probably going to be a topic of discussion in the next 5 minutes, but just special shout out for him. He was phenomenal. He was everywhere. I thought there was 3 of them on the pitch.
I was saving the best for last, Jack. I was saving the best for last. Jacob, what was your thoughts on Pritchard? And if he's not playing tomorrow night, will he be missed?
Yeah, considering the experience he brought to the side.
Jacob, nobody wanted him to start last week.
Yeah, okay. But then again, Terry, you look at the options we had going into the game yesterday. Obviously, considering it was, I think, Sirkin was ruled out. We didn't realise that Gooch was going to be fit until the day of the game. I think we were all happy that his experience was there to be offered on Saturday. But yeah, if he's fully fit, I think he came off of a bit of a knock on Saturday. If he's fully fit, you know, throw him in there at Kenilworth Road tomorrow night. His experience will count most. And yeah, I think it's the best 490 I've seen him play all season. Like Jack said, you know, at times we've seen him drift in and out of games, you know, not contributing enough on a consistent basis. But we saw that from Pritch on Saturday, and his leadership, you know, was fantastic. I remember when we had that absolute stupid bloke who invaded the pitch midway through the second half. He was absolutely, I think he thought he was going to chase him off the pitch at one stage, just screaming at the lads, you know, get off, you know, we've got a game to win here. But yeah, that was passionate to see. We've seen some ups and down moments with Pritch. You know, I think there was one game away at Bristol this season where he booted the water bottle across the sideline after he got substituted. But that just shows that he's a lad that cares so much, and, you know, he wants to get the job done. And yeah, he's been here before. Playoff campaign, I think he was part of that Huddersfield team that went up in 2017 through the playoffs. So yeah, he's got experience of doing it at this level. Hopefully he can repeat the same thing twice with us lot.
Emma, Pritchard, will it be a big miss tomorrow night if he doesn't play? I've heard that there's a massive, massive chance he's not going to be playing tomorrow night because of the injuries picked up or nigglies picked up.
Yeah, I've heard that it's touch and go like with him. I know I was watching the lads should be on a plane right now, I think it is, because like Sunderland official put something on that we're flying down. So I don't even know if he's actually travelled, if I'm honest. He has. I didn't like watch it all, you know what I mean? So I'll hold my hands up. I said I didn't want him to start because I think he is better coming on as a sub, that fresh legs. He puts that impact, he's that impact player. But on Saturday, he had his heart on his sleeve and he played for us. And honestly, I can't fault the lad. I really can't. And I think if he's not playing tomorrow night, we're going to miss that experience, if you like. Because, I mean, it touches again on the injuries we've got. What experienced players have we got on that pitch? You know what I mean? And to me, Pritchard is one of them experienced players that can get the lads going and gear them up and push them forward, you know what I mean? Like Jacob said, you could see his passion on Saturday. And it was really good to see a Pritchard. I would miss him if he doesn't start tomorrow night. Hopefully, if it's a bit touch and go, I'd like to maybe see him put him on the bench and bring him on for 10, 15 minutes. But then the same question is, if we're winning, do we risk him picking up a worse injury?
Yeah. Jacob, you want to be in?
Yeah, I've just seen the video of the players getting on the plane, and to give Emma a bit of joy, at least Pritchard seemed to be walking fine whilst boarding the flight. So, yeah, but we don't know until I think it will be touch and go whether he actually starts. I think, like what Emma said, Mowbray, he may want to rest him for an even big occasion, but we have to get through tomorrow night first, so fingers crossed.
Right, before we go back to Jack to do with Ekwah, we'll go on to Ian Palmer. If Alessi is fit, I will play him from the start. They will be in our faces, looking long balls, look the height and the difference. Height will be the difference. I heard Alessi is going to be ready for the bench tomorrow night, apparently. Ian Curry says, would you buy Gelhardt if Ross Stewart is off? Well, it depends what division we're in. Charlie O'Brien, come on, Sunderland. We got Colin Major. I'm going for Jack Clark to get a goal tomorrow night. Charles O'Brien, yeah, he does. He seems a little unfit, almost. But he's a good player. He's a good player. Ian Wilkinson, best game Pritchard has had for a long time. Now, I think on Saturday was probably the best home performance I've seen all season. Just the way we showed the grit and determination, the tenacity to come back, and it all stems for me like someone like Ekwah on the pitch. He's come on leaps and bounds over the last few weeks. He's a massive difference. The physicality of Ekwah. He's the tallest lad on the pitch for Sunderland. And even Tony Mowbray said he's a lovely lad, but he wants him to use his physicality more. Jack, you champion him, and you said earlier on about Ekwah. Do you think Ekwah was our man of the match on Saturday?
Without a shadow of a doubt, was he our man of the match? He was phenomenal. I thought he was just everywhere. Absolutely. If I could have given him 11 out of 10, I would have. I thought he was fantastic. He was strong. He was bullying the Luton midfielders. He was getting on the ball. But I think one attribute we haven't probably given him credit for was his passing and his ability on the ball, because we all knew he was physical and we all knew he was athletic, he could get up and down the pitch and run a lot, and he was good in terms of defending really from set pieces. But he had a good game on the ball as well, because he was bringing the ball forward and sort of getting involved with attacks, which you probably wouldn't have him in the team to do, would you? Let's be honest, that's not really his role in the team. But he was doing that. He was bringing the ball forward, giving it outside right, the outside player on the right, Robertson Clark on the wings and setting it up. And he was just fantastic. And the energy he showed, he was brilliant. I think a lot of people give him criticism at Norwich and one or two other games afterwards, but I think he is getting better with every game he plays. He's becoming more mature in his performances. And yeah, I think we do need a player like that as well. So it's perfect timing, really, isn't it? Let's be honest. So hopefully, fingers crossed, nothing happens to him tomorrow night and he manages to come through the 90 minutes and have another game as good as he had, because I think he could be the difference for us tomorrow night. I think if he plays well, we have a really, really good chance. I mean,
it's a credit to people who the likes of Christian Spickman, who's brought him in, because obviously he's played a lot. He's been to Chelsea, been to West Ham, so he's got the talent there. It's just nurturing the talent and get it out of him, And a lot of West Ham fans were gutted when he left West Ham, and I've had a few people come on saying that, they think he's going to be an absolutely fabulous player. So it's great to see that potential coming through now. Jacob, what's your thoughts on Pierre Ekwah's performance on Saturday? And is he just going to get better?
Absolutely stunning, mate. I've seen one particular comment comparing him to Patrick Vieira back in his heyday, but he reminded me of a prime Yaya Toure, the way how he played on Saturday. Like Jack said, that is single-handedly the best performance from a midfield player I've seen in a Sunderland game this season. Absolutely phenomenal. And people who doubted him, he deserves an apology, to be honest, from those sort of fans. People who thought he didn't have the physicality to compete playing football in this country. He wasn't quite at it. He wasn't quite ready yet. Nah, he is some player, mate. To be honest, I'm wondering what West Ham really saw in him when they decided to let him go, sell him as well. I thought a player of that caliber and that amount of talent, he would have been at least given, sent to a championship club on loan, at least. But the fact that we've got him tied down on a deal, signed him, it's just fantastic. And he, considering this is his first proper action of first team regular football in this country, what's he going to be like, in 2 to 3 years? It's frightening, mate. Absolutely. We have got some player on our hands there. Unbelievable.
Definitely, absolutely fantastic. Like I say, as also apparently got a good understanding with Alessi as well. So when Alessi gets fit, those two in the same side, I think it would be definitely a good combination. Emma, thoughts on Pierre Ekwah?
To be honest, Terry, pretty much what the lads have said. I think I said it on the last show. It's amazing how much work they've done behind the scenes with him, and it's paying off and it's shown in his football. He was all over that pitch. There was just no stopping him. He was dynamite in my eyes. You know what I mean? He was really good attacking and he was backtracking. And it was his first full 90 minutes in the Sunderland top as well, which was really good to see. And he deserved that. He deserves the applause. He deserves that game. I just wish he had a getting a goal, to be fair. The way he played, I think that would have just topped off his game. I mean, there was some really, really good footwork from him. I mean, as Jacob saying, I'm pleased we've got him tied down. And I think it was Alessi that was good friends with him at West Ham and sort of was the one that egged him to come here, sort of thing. So hopefully if Alessi plays and he plays, they're going to make a fantastic partnership on that pitch. And I think Ekwah's just going to keep growing and growing and growing within this club if we play the right type of football in his style. And it's going to be something to watch this lad develop. It really is. It's something I'm quite looking forward to watching.
This is brilliant to have him in the side. DJ Dave says, evening gang, I've watched a couple of Luton fans' videos. They reckon the ref give them nout on Saturday. Tell about that. JS 2000 Luton were absolutely fine about the 2-1 loss. It's clear that they think the physical team and their narrow pitch, they will beat us. Mr. Allen says, DJ Dave, they're deluded. They're deluded. Then also we got in the chat, we have Mac and POV. Whatever happens tomorrow, I'm excited about the future of this bunch of players. I want to talk about Trey Hume. For me, he's come in at a snip of a price from Lingfield. Again, they're just getting this lad in. I mean, no one ever heard of him before he came to Sunderland. And now he's in the team every single week. And, you know, we got a makeshift defence. This lad could even play up front, Jacob, couldn't he?
Yeah, fantastic. The way how he took his goal as well, that header, I remember seeing you in the ground after, obviously, you were recording. I think we couldn't believe he finished that so brilliantly for a defender. You know, brilliant cross from Clark. Right place, right time. What he was doing, I don't know what position he was meant to. Was he meant to be a fullback, centre half on Saturday, considering the players we had out?
Somewhere like on those lines, isn't it? Really, you can play both positions, can't he?
No, but fantastic. Trey Hume, he has definitely been our most improved player in that squad this season, without a shadow of a doubt. We'd all, I think, at the start of the season, I think a lot of us, including myself, had not fully written him off, but I think we're debating whether he should have had another loan spell before coming back. But fair play, had to earn his place back in this side. Is it himself earn a place back in this side, and he's done that wonderfully. You know, fantastic, Trey Hume. And yeah, a really, like I said with Pierre Ekwah, a young player with a very promising future.
Jack, is Trey Hume one of the most underestimated players in the side? Because for me, I think he's fantastic.
Yeah, because he's not someone who flashes. He's not someone who scores goals like Amad Diallo or puts it on a plate like Jack Clark or Roberts or Pritchard. He's not someone who does the technical side of the game, you know, finishing chances off and getting assists. But he's dependable, and he's actually a better footballer than you probably realise. And I think I agree with what Jacob said. He was someone who probably at the start of the season was going to be probably a squad player at most. But because of the injuries that we've had, and the defensive problems that we've had, it has given a chance to shine for these type of players, hasn't it? So in a way, inadvertently, our injury problems have developed a lot of our players that might not have seen as regular footballers that have actually ended up seeing, and Trey Hume's a benefit of that as well. I mean, the way that he took the goal, because it wasn't just the fact that he got his head on it, it was because there wasn't that much pace on that ball, you know, from Jack Clark. He had to generate a lot of that pace himself, get the header in, and also get it down and in. And it was a really, really good header. Any top striker in the world would be proud of that header, and from a player that we probably didn't think had it in him. So yeah, it was a fantastic goal. His all-round performance has been brilliant, and he's another one that's just got on with it, done well, played regularly, and just gone about his business in the right way. And like I said, the injuries have actually worked for those players that wouldn't have seen that much football, and they're going to be developing better players for it, inadvertently, but it has helped some.
Yeah, exactly. Emma, did Luton shit themselves in the second half? The way we were playing football and that goal from Trey Hume, I mean, I think it took the defender by surprise. The defender, I mean, I don't know how he got in front of that defender, because the defender's a big lad. And it was just quickness, the reaction skills of Trey Hume, a second goal or something he scored this season already, and I think he's had a great season as right back or the right side of full back. So what's your thoughts on Trey Hume, Emma?
I mean, he's becoming a very, very tactical footballer. He's coming into his own now. I mean, in regards to sort of man of the match, I was torn between him and Ekwah, because I thought he played that well on Saturday. He was outstanding Saturday, and it's good to see. And hopefully, this lad's going to keep developing like the rest of the young lads that we've got on this pitch, and he's going to bring something to us, because, like what the lads have said, he was really good. And it's hard to sum him up because it was that much of a good game between him and Ekwah.
People don't realise how physical he is. I watched him play. He gets stuck in, man. He doesn't have to get stuck into the challenges and the tackles, and puts his head and his body on the line, and he seems to just bounce back off the ground again. You know,
that's what I'm saying. He's playing more tactical football now. When he's getting stuck in and he's coming into his own, which is good to see from the lad. It's what we want from the players, is to see these lads coming into their own and being able to play. Is he only getting in the first team because of the injuries? Who knows? But at the end of the day, he deserved that place on Saturday.
Man of the match, Emma?
My man of the match was Ekwah. I was torn between Ekwah and Hume, but it was Ekwah. Just, I've already said what I've thought of Ekwah's game on Saturday. He was just, he could have been all 11 players on that pitch on Saturday the way he played, in my opinion. So I've got to give it to Ekwah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, Ekwah, and my runner-up is Trey Hume. Come on, we'll have a man of the match and runner-up, Jack.
Well, Ekwah, obviously man of the match. Runner-up, I thought Patrick Roberts had a good game. I thought Patrick Roberts was on the ball a lot and creating a lot. He was unlucky not to get a goal himself. So I would give it to Patrick Roberts. But Hume was excellent. There was 5 or 6 played well, to be fair.
Do you think there was Jacob, the all 8s and 9s on Saturday, apart from Ekwah 10?
Yeah, I just about agree with that. 8s and 9s, Roberts, one of them being a 9. Same with Trey Hume, Ekwah, 10, mate. 10 out of 10. Superb.
Exactly right. There's 155 people on the live stream. Please give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the live stream. We try and smash 100 likes today. Now, we've got DJ Dave Terry asked me at half-time about the headbands. Reminded me of the Harlem Globetrotters. I know I've seen 3 of them with headbands on. LNS Adventure says, hello, Terry. And I did see Neil Rumbles. Sunderland needs a winner Tuesday night from Neil. That would be good. I thought I saw a Luton there. Miller Green, I'm a Luton fan, and I thought we were better up until Diallo scored. But after that, I don't know what happened. All 3 of our midfielders were shocking, and that's a credit to you as well. You deserve that lead. I thought every single player stood up and was counted on Saturday. I thought it was an absolutely fantastic performance. And before we move on to tomorrow night's game, a little bit of a chat about the recruitment, Jack. Watching the last few weeks, how the young lads have all come through, they brought in the likes of Trey Hume and Ekwah. What does that say for the recruitment going forward?
Yeah, really good sign, to be fair. I mean, let's look at the whole signings since the summer in January. They've been certainly more hit than miss, haven't they? Let's be honest. They haven't got many of them wrong in the short period of time. And I think, it's the right model to go down, because we've tried the experience route. We've tried players that are well known in this league, and and it just didn't work, did it? Let's be honest. We tried it for a couple of years and we didn't really get anywhere. We've got a clear style, and I think that's one thing that we haven't had for a while. We've got this route that we're going to go down now, whereby we're going to get young players in. We're going to get them to play the right style of football, develop them on. We've talked about possibly selling them now and again. We might not need to if we do get promoted, but that is the model that we're going to go down. Showcase the talents, play them in a team that shows the best of them in a style that works for them, and reap the rewards. And who'd have thought we'd be in this position now, potentially 90 minutes away from a chance to get promoted? And we've had so many players that have played well this season. And yeah, I mean, long may it continue. There might be 1 or 2 that, we get it wrong within the future. And I think there's probably, we've been critical on this channel, haven't we, to be honest, where our recruitment's been too one-dimensional, hasn't it? We've had too many young lads, not enough variation on it. We've a bit more experience. So, but to be fair, we can't be too critical, because a lot of the players that have been brought in the last sort of 18 months, they've been brilliant for us. You can name them. We've named 3 or 4 of them already tonight, but so it's good signs. I mean, if the worst comes to the worst and we don't get the result we want, tomorrow night, then you can see the club is in a good place now, can't you? You can see a future for the team and a future for the football club going forward.
I mean, Jacob, you got the likes of Ballard, Clark, Alessi, Hume, Ekwah, Mishoot, Serkin, all come through and they've all performed well. I'm sure there's others out there as well. And even like Savo, 9 has come on again this season. This massive credit to the recruitment side and, of course, Tony Mowbray.
Yeah, I think some doubted the recruitment process with Christian Speakman bringing in a lot of inexperienced lads, but they've all gelled together brilliantly. They've all clicked, and I think each individual signing has been brought in for a reason, and we're trusting in the process. And like what Jack said, I think considering where this club was 3 or 4 years ago, languishing in League One, coming off the back of double relegations, this club's back, mate. We've got our club back, and yeah, it's emotional, but also so happy to see, and the best supporters in the world. We deserve it 100%.
Emmett, also, it's great to see the likes of the recruitment side and Mowbray giving faith in young lads coming through the academy like Patterson and Neil. So what's your thoughts on the whole situation? And what about Tony Mowbray? He's got to be the manager in charge next season, surely.
Oh yeah, he's got to stay. If obviously it's half time at the minute, if for whatever reason second half tomorrow we don't have another 90 minutes football to play, it's Mowbray to take us up next season. It really is. It's in him. We've got to trust. He needs to stay. He's worked well, and his coaching staff, with these young lads that have been brought in. I mean, I've openly admitted on this channel, I'm not a huge fan of Speakman. I don't like what he's done this season. It felt like we're let down by the signings that he made. But these young lads that he did bring in, they are starting to come into their own and prove their worth, in my opinion. But I'm still not a big fan of the recruitment team. Yes, he's got all haters, but that's my opinion on it. But yeah, I think the young lads, like you say, the Neils, the Pattersons, that come through the academy, we've seen it with the likes of Jordan Henderson. Look where he is. You know what I mean? Look at Pickford as well. That's only to name a couple where they've went and they've come through our academy. So it shows what we can do if we have these lads from a young age. So potentially, could some of these ones that he's brought in go on to be like, I don't know, the next international best for that country? You know what I mean? It's a case of waiting and seeing, but we've got to trust in the recruitment, but I'm not a big fan of the recruitment.
Yeah, no bother. Right, we'll move on to tomorrow night's game now. I'm going to put up my team, but the team is without Pritchard, just in case Pritchard's not available. And we'll go on. Basically, I think Huggins is going to come in and start. I think Huggins will get his first start. It's great to see Huggins back on Saturday. Now, if Pritchard's not fit, I think a flat back four: Huggins, Hume, 09, Gooch, Roberts, Ekwah, Neil, Ahmad, Gelhardt, Clark. I've gone 4-3-3. That's just my personal opinion. We'll go to Jack first. Jack, what's your team tomorrow night? Obviously, if they're all fit, Pritchard starts. If Pritchard's not available, who would you go to? And what's your thoughts on the game overall? Do we just go for the victory?
It's a bit of a funny one on because I mean, you want to be like a proper horrible away performance whereby we slow the game down, we get over the line, we do anything we can, time waste. But really, that doesn't really suit our style of play, does it? I mean, that's the way anybody else would probably play the game. We've got a 1-goal advantage away from home, but that probably doesn't suit our style of play. So I think really be wary, obviously, because Luton they're going to be better. They have to be better than they were on Saturday. They will be improved. So be wary when you're giving away free kicks and corners, as I said the other day on the podcast, and see if we can get our style of play implemented on the game. I know it's going to be harder away from home. Somebody mentioned the pitch is going to be narrower. There's less fans there. There's less of our fans there, obviously. So it's not going to be as easy as it probably was. Not that it was easy, but it's going to be a harder game than Saturday. But that doesn't mean we can't get on the ball, stretch the game, keep the ball moving, play across the lines, and really start and impose our style on Luton. I think if we do that, we'll definitely get chances. We'll definitely get chances in the game, and I think we'll score. I really do think we'll score tomorrow night. I'd be surprised if we didn't go there and get a goal, because we tend to score away from home in most games. What would I do with the team? It all depends on if Pritchard's fit, to be fair, Terry. I think if he is fit, I thought he had a good game on Saturday, and I think I would probably play him. I'll probably keep as close to the same team as I could. But if he isn't fit, you're looking at Huggins at right back. I wouldn't disagree with it, because I can't really think of anybody else that you could play there. People mentioned Dan Neil at right back, but I don't really think that's the time or the place to play him there. So yeah, I think you've got to, you're not got many options, to be fair, have you? But I wouldn't disagree with anything you've said on the team.
Thank you. Go back in the live chat again. We've got Elliot Alderson. He's talking to Glorious Macklins. Completely agree. He would brought in, don't know, something completely different. And we got Colin Major, Emma. Them young lads are the baby assassins, the casual observer, Pierre Ekwah, man. He's the new Yaya Toure. Michael Hood, Glorious Macklins. Yes, Elliot, talking to someone else. Jim Book, are we not permitted to use loanees that come back? I don't think we are. I don't think Mitetti is allowed to play. Definitely not. No, we're not. We got, tell you what, Ron Cook would be still in this position if Evans and Embleton were fit for the whole season. I don't think so. Well, we've had a lot of injuries this season, but people who have been injured has given way to the young lads to come through and just shine, and they're taking the bull by the horns, and they've really sort of stamped the authority on their game, and they've improved the young lads, and they've put themselves in the limelight. So, Jacob, tomorrow night, team, and what's your thoughts on playing that small pitch at Kenilworth Road?
Well, considering we like the width of big pitches, for the style we play, it will be a difficult task. There'll be moments in the game they will frustrate us. It'll be backs against the line at times. I think they'll be a lot more solid from what they were at the weekend. But onto the team, I think it all depends. Also, you forgot Terry. I think, was it Roberts? He's being considered a doubt whether he's going to start tomorrow as well. I think he came off of a bit of a knock, or as Mowbray.
I think I've heard he's okay.
He's okay. Well, that's good. That's good to know. Roberts is key to this side, key player, especially when he's with Diallo on the pitch. Pritchard, I agree. I think he may want to save him for. I think he'll be a player that will come on, but I think we could do with him when we're trying to see out the game later on, and also bring someone who can move the ball about with pace in the latter stages. That's with Edouard Michou. So yeah, I think that's the best team we can go with tomorrow night, Terry. I think maybe actually Huggins, I think it might be a tad too soon for him to start. I think the same back line he will stick with from the weekend, but also you have to take into account, it's great to see Agiolesi back on the training pitch. Obviously the pictures of him today, we thought he was ruled out for the season completely, but he has trained, and Mowbray said he'll be in contention for the bench at least tomorrow. So hopefully he may come onto the pitch, play a key part in seeing out the game.
Emma, team tomorrow, and thoughts on Luton? Are you scared tomorrow night?
I wouldn't say I'm scared, Terry. I'm more nervous. As Jack was talking, he said he thinks we're going to score tomorrow night. I'm just like, oh my God, the nerves. And it's just like, and so I'm not scared, because, I mean, I've got faith in our team. I mean, we've been ruled out of this, and look how we played on Saturday. So I think we're in with a hell of a chance. As I've said, it's half time. Let's just hope we're not a team of two sides again, like what I feel like we'll do most games, and we'll come out fighting like we did on Saturday. I mean, as far as the team goes, I mean, I don't know if Pritchard is potentially on the bench. I'd potentially bring Alessi in, give him a big game time, then swap him out for Pritchard, potentially. Sort of like give them, because obviously if Pritchard has got that knock, unless he's coming back from a knock, it's like, which way do you play it? So I think that unless he's got to be on the bench, but then I'm also thinking, well, what about giving Michou a chance? I mean, I'm not a fan of Michou. I've openly admitted that. But I think with such a game, we need as many people to basically to hold them back. And so I'm thinking, well, miss you, but then I'm thinking that then leaves very slim pickings for the bench. So it's like I'm very unsure.
How fit is AJ Lacey, by the way? Because I have visions of him starting and then him pulling up. Do you know what I mean? And then it's like having to reshape and rejig the whole team after 15 minutes. Because I want him to play because he's got the height and the physicality and athleticism. But I'd hate to think we rushed him back and then he ends up, we're having to rejig our team about because he's gone off or something.
Do you look at that same feeling about Huggins as well?
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because we are really, really down the bare bones, aren't we? So it's like, we haven't got many options to discuss. I think you could probably ask him, but you know what he's going to say. If Mowbray goes to him and says how fit he is, going to say, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm 100%. I'll start." You know what I mean? So sometimes it's not the best thing to do. Sometimes you have to go off what the medical team say, and I think it's more likely that Alessi will be on the bench. But I know I sometimes get it wrong. So who knows?
Jacob, you know a lot of things in the world, don't you, Jacob? You're wise man of your age.
That far.
Do you know when they say narrow pitches, is there much difference between a narrow pitch and a pitch like Sunderland?
Yeah, I would say so. I think it will be more compact on the narrow pitch, but I think
So
it's
what sort of yardage should we talking? We're going to be losing tomorrow then.
You put me on the
Anybody
spot,
know in the chat what kind of yardage
You've
you're
got
going to lose?
No, you've got a minimum and maximum distance of the pitch, haven't you? Minimum size and maximum size. Ours will be at the maximum to try and get it the best out of us, and Luton's will be at the bare minimum. But what the difference is, I don't know. You're probably talking maybe 4 or 5 yards either side of the width and the length. I really don't know, but it'll be harder. It'll be harder to play our style of play down there than it will at the stadium, right? If that makes sense. Not much difference, but every little helps. We're talking about Luton giving themselves the best advantage. And that's what's another way that they do it, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So,
how worried are you tomorrow night, Jack? Give us a score prediction.
Well, I usually get it wrong. I said we wouldn't get in the playoffs, and we did. I said we wouldn't win on Saturday, and we did. I thought it would be a 1-1 draw on Saturday. But I've suddenly got a burst of confidence from somewhere. I don't know where I've got it from. It's dangerous when I'm confident and I'm thinking we're going to do well. I think we're going to get another 1-1 draw. Us and Luton love a 1-1 draw. I think we'll get a 1-1 draw. I think they'll come flying out the traps and get one. We'll equalise, and it'll be a nervy last 15 or 20 minutes, but I think we will see the game out 1-1, and that'll see us through to Wembley.
Right, back on the chat, Bristolian, back on playing total football again like the 1930s. And Mag's debate, Newcastle fan on there, says, good luck, don't. I hope they don't still have that plastic pitch. Hopefully they don't have the plastic pitch. I'm sure they won't. Right, Emma, how worried are you tomorrow night, and what's your score predictions?
I'm not worried, Terry. I'm just nervous. And the fact of talking about this and asking for a score prediction, I'm like, oh no, I can't do this. Oh God. I mean, Luton's home form is not that bad, to be fair. I think they've drawn 9 games at home this season, 9-10 games. Obviously, we've got that a better away form, but obviously, given the potential players that we are going to be without tomorrow. Oh God. I'm going to say the same as what I did at the weekend. I said 1-1 as well. So I reckon that we're going to go out, we're going to play for the draw, and then we're going to clinch it. We are. I hope to God it ends at 90 minutes, because I couldn't do any more than that. I really couldn't do any more than that. I'm going to go with 1-1.
Yeah, I think Tony Mowbray says he wants to play his natural game and pretend it's like 0-0 and go for the win. We've got Bob Bass. The injuries we've had have allowed the likes of Ekwah and Hume of the world to get more minutes and flourish, which is perfectly spot on. We've got Bar. Bar doesn't seem to know the rules. He's like a headless chicken. Well, I think Bar still maybe another season kind of behind the rest of the team. I think Bar will be a better player next season, personally. Lucky till I die. The one thing that makes me a bit nervous is that Morris didn't even get a sniff against us, and we don't really know how accurate he is. Well, Morris is a pretty good player, to be fair. Glyn Jones, Michoud is a very good player. Could he start tomorrow? I don't think he'll drop Nagel, and I can't see him. There's no way in the world we're going to drop Ekwah, because Ekwah's has been brilliant. We'll go to Jacob as well. Jacob, what's the score predictions tomorrow night? And who would you rather play, Coventry or Borough, if we get through?
Yeah, I think
waiting for that question.
Yeah, forget that question was even asked. Honestly, let's just get through tomorrow night first. Score prediction. You know what? I'm going to say we're going to learn our lessons on a defensive point of view, keep a clean sheet, and we'll score when they have tired legs in the second half and win 1-0 and see the game.
Come on, if we have an amazing game tomorrow night, we actually get through. You know, a miracle happens and we make it through to Wembley. Who would you rather play, Jacob?
You know what? I don't know. I'd fancy us more against Borough. I don't know what it is. I think Coventry will just. I just sense that Coventry will just ruin our occasion. I don't know what it is.
Emma, same question to you. It's going to be a difficult game. We know we can't take it for granted that we're even going to even make it to Wembley. But if we do, you know, just if we do, who would you rather play?
Neither. And should I tell you why? Because of the trouble that there'll be. Because no matter who we're going to be, there'll be trouble with the Borough and there'll be trouble with Coventry. So neither, but more from the technical side of things, I would potentially see Borough. I think we would have more chance to win against Borough than what we would Coventry.
I would like to play against Coventry because then there's more train tickets available to go down because you've got to go past Middlesbrough. I would have thought that way. I don't know. I'm sure we have to go that way down. Less people on the train anyway. Jack?
Yeah, I think it's a funny one because Middlesbrough are a better team than Coventry. They play better football, they've got better players, but I think they'll also give you more of a chance against them because they're more likely to play an open game. I think that we in my opinion, we suit teams that come at us a little bit more and that gives us a chance to get on the ball. So I would actually rather play Middlesbrough because I think they will give us a chance. I think if we play Coventry, it'll be a type of game that we saw against Luton and how many times this season, you know what I mean, where they stop us getting in the floor. It's a horrible, nasty game. So yeah, probably Middlesbrough, even though I think Middlesbrough are a slightly better team than Coventry. Don't know if that makes much sense, but did in me head.
That's a great comment, Jack. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody, Jack?
Yeah, well, I'll be there tomorrow night. Nervy, but I think we've got to keep the faith, as Jacob sometimes says, and you never know. I think we could do it. Come on, get behind the lads, and I'll see you all later, lads and lasses.
Brilliant. A big thank you to everybody who's been in the chat tonight. And again, if you haven't already given us a thumbs up, please give us a thumbs up. And thank you for all the comments. I do apologise I haven't been able to read the comments out. But we'll go to Jacob. Jacob, do you want to say good night to everybody?
See you later, everyone. Good night. Sing your heart out for the lads tomorrow evening. As I always say, keep the faith. Come on.
Emma, it's great to have you on the channel tonight. Do you want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. No matter what happens tomorrow night, it's been a hell of a ride. But come on, 90 minutes.
I want to say a big thank you to all three of you because normally I sit and talk to myself all day, so it's nice to talk to somebody for a change. Anyway, I hope you've all enjoyed the live stream tonight. Take care, God bless, and we'll see you probably tomorrow night. I am doing a live stream. See you later.